Hi there, it's Wednesday the 23rd of June 2021. This is our last week asking the question, is God in control? And of course the answer is yes, and He is sovereign, He is King, He has plans and purposes for our lives. But He also wants us to make choices and to make the right choices and good choices to follow the plans and purposes that He has. So how do we know what choices to make in life? How do we know what are the right choices, the good choices, the best choices, God's choices as it were? Well, first of all, yesterday we do what the Bible says. If we simply follow what the Bible teaching us and do what it says, love our neighbours, be kind to those who persecute us, forgive one another, etc., etc., just simply by doing that, we will be making good and right choices in life, and we'll be following God's will for our life. But another way of answering that is, how do we know what choices to make in life? We do what the Spirit of God tells us to do. And sometimes He speaks to us through the Bible, but He can speak to us in other ways, because if we are Christians, then God's Spirit lives within our hearts, and so He can speak to our hearts, to our minds, and He can lead us in different ways. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 21. What does that say? Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 21 says this: "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" God is saying that the Spirit of God will be with us and He will speak to us. It will be almost like a voice behind us or within us saying, this is the right path to take. Take this path. Make this choice. Make this decision. And when we bring our choices and decisions to the Lord and we ask Him to guide us and we look at what the Bible says and maybe we're still not quite clear, we know that we want to obey God, and we know we want to follow the Bible, but sometimes the Bible is not answering our very specific questions necessarily. The Bible says that we should work hard for a living, so we want to take a job, and that's doing what the Bible says. But which job? Does the Bible say, well, I want you to be a plumber, or I want you to be an electrician? Well, it doesn't give you guidance as specific as that. So where we then need to go is to the Spirit of God to speak to us and to say, is it a plumber? Is it an electrician? Which way is it you want us to go? And sometimes that is like a voice within us, in a sense, speaking to us, just confirming what is the right path to take. And sometimes, interestingly enough, from this verse, it's actually when we are at that point of making that choice, and actually it's as we are moving that He says that, because the idea of this verse is that we are actually moving towards one way or another. It's not that we're just standing still wondering, but we're actually moving, and as we are moving, the Spirit of God can move us one way or another. As we apply for these jobs, as we fill out the application forms, as we take these steps, as we actually do something, it's as we are in the process of acting, often that the Lord by His Spirit will just guide us, will nudge us, will close the door in that job so you don't get an interview, will open the door in that job so you do, and He will make that path and make that way forward clear for you. It's so exciting. It's such a wonderful thing to have the Spirit of God within us and Him leading us in lots of different ways. May God bless you. Speak to you again tomorrow.